Hey everybody, welcome back. Psych here. In this video, we're going to be returning back to my all-time favorite Psych garage singles from the past. These are like top tier for me, top 5 singles. It doesn't necessarily mean both sides are winners, but it could be just one track. And in this video, I think that's the case for one of these at least that comes to mind. 4 singles we're going to cover, and we probably haven't revisited this series since part 5, which was like 5 months ago. I just checked. So just kind of rolling with the theme a little slow. Finally have some time to record, so let's get down with it. Won't keep you here too long, hopefully. We're just going to kind of just highlight these and talk a little just in-depth details about the how the songs sound, where they formed. So this first track, the first single, I do not own. It's featured on the second installment of this compilation, Fistful of Fuzz. How can you deny that cover? Blondie holding a guitar. Some fantastic comp that came out in the late 90s, and it's featured on For a Few Fuzz Guitars More, following with the trilogy. We never did get a third installment. The Good, the Bad, and the Fuzz probably be the next one. But yeah, so we're talking about this one on the Fuzzwort label. It's a band from St. Clair Shores, Michigan, with a single called School Days, D-A-Z-E, and the flip side being a track called Dreams, or Dreams? I forget. Probably Dream. Anyway, here's a sound clip. It was also featured in the 8th Trip on the Brown Acid compilation, which I do not own. I only own I think the 12th one, which is like my favorite of the series so far. Don't know if I'm going to collect the whole series, but following with that clip you just heard, pretty wild, right? I mean, I would imagine these guys were probably just coming out of high school maybe. Sound like maybe they're about in their 20s, early 20s. I don't really know the age group, but definitely has a youthful kind of like really aggressive kind of guitar sound to it. And some people even, like to throw the subcategory of like some of the birthing sounds of heavy metal around this time. Came out in 1969 as their one and only single. Amazing label graphic. I mean, when you look at that design. Said it was produced by Frank Booth. Oh wait, excuse me, not that guy. Franz Booth, that's right. Yeah, let's hope it's not that guy. So yeah, stylistically it's kind of flooding right out of the gate with like a hard rock direction. Definitely sort of acid drenched, crude guitar sound. You got a lot of pummeling drums, hitting that crash cymbal all throughout. And School Days is just such a ripper. I mean, even the whole last half, it seems like, the singer just kind of took a break and he's just letting the guitar just kind of wail on its way out. But the flip side though, Dream, probably not as good. I mean, some of the fuzz, from what I can hear in the mix, from only streaming it, it sounds like the fuzz guitar is a little buried in the mix, just with all the small space that I'm assuming that it was recorded in. It's just all the sounds are just bouncing off the echo chamber, and it's just almost just gets kind of lost in that whole mix. Got kind of a darker sound to it as well on that flip side, but School Days is for sure a highlight. I think there's like even a lyric where he's saying something like, "I got to get out of this wretched school." Pretty indistinguishable lyrics, which is fine by me. Like, I don't mind not hearing them. It's just all kind of muffled within all the chaos surrounding it. You probably have like old timers, working on the soundboard, not knowing how to record this stuff at the time. But yeah, just the whole dynamic of the whole structure of the track is just very powerful for its lone single. Would have been pretty crazy if we got like an LP from these guys. So yeah, that's the Attack, and not to make the connection with the confusion with the UK Attack with John Ducan. This is the Michigan Attack. On to this next single. This is the band that we're talking about next, with their one and only single, Baby Grandmothers. This is a group that formed out of Stockholm, Sweden. Would later form into Mäki Markman, of course. And yeah, it seems like the Swedes were onto something, man. They had some of the most like prolific, influential sounds as far as like taking psychedelia to a whole new level with their single. And this is like a compilation that came out some years ago. I think originally maybe it came out on CD first, but then this is Subliminal Sounds from like 2007. I bought this brand new like some years later after that. One of the very early additions to my Psych collection early on. I mean, who could deny a cover like that? I mean, kind of grabs your attention, and their name sticks pretty true, man. These guys are the grandmothers of psychedelia in some ways. So the whole A-side on this one, it's a 2-disc set. These are the 2 singles that we're going to be highlighting. Somebody Keeps Calling My Name, and then on the flip side, Being Is More Than Life. Probably my favorite that we're going to be talking about here. The single actually got released in Finland only. Maybe it was just a promotional single at best. I think it was a pretty small run, to say the least. I mean, you don't see that single flying around very much these days. So their single runs at 7 minutes in length, but the version on here says 9 minutes and like 15 seconds. I don't know if they had a cutoff point on that single, but I would imagine it's the same take. I haven't heard any 45 transfers of what that track would be on the single, but I would imagine it's the same take. Recorded in like, either late 67 or early 68 is when this was recorded. And when you listen to that A-side, it sounds so modern, like it has not aged a bit. The recording quality, just how abrasive they are with the sound, the way the track kind of builds after like the 6-minute point. It's kind of gradually, picking up. And I think I misspoke when I said it's instrumental. He does say the title of the track, Somebody Keeps Calling My Name, over and over a few times. And then once it gets into that kind of aggressive section after the 6-minute mark, he starts kind of wailing on it in the vocals. And it's just one of the best, amazing, almost like krautrock inspired cosmic jams ever recorded, in my opinion. I mean, it's some of the best I've ever trekked across on that track. And once it gets to that 6-minute part, it gets a little more aggressive, and then by the end it's just total chaos, concluding the whole track with just these spiraling guitar wizardry going on, and launches off into space. And just an amazing track. Hopefully I can leave some samples where you can listen to it. Otherwise, definitely YouTube that shit, man. It's so good. Then that brings us to the next track, Being Is More Than Life, which is actually found later on their second album, Mäki Markman, Running in the Summer Night. It's part of like a little suite that opens up side 2. Had this one for a while now. This is probably I'd say I probably prefer this one over the debut. I love the back on this one as well. On the Limelight label, this is a white label promo. Just to show you, yeah, it's part of the life cycle. Being the 3rd track there. So they kind of bring that track back in that album. Wouldn't say it's as good, but it's a little more like an accessible type of journey on this album. Fits alongside with that suite. But the track you hear on this one's a lot more crude recording. It's got a little bit of that crudeness again, but definitely fleshed out and gets pretty heavy and cosmic for its time. 1968. I mean, this is definitely up to the standards up to the heights of, say, Blue Cheer Heavy. Definitely what Hendrix was lashing out at that time. And just, again, just so, just stoner rock. Before that was even a term. I mean, this is just Stoner 101 jams going on here. And that is an instrumental track, by the way. So, give that a little highlight. Check that out. Comes with a couple little sleeve inserts, talking about their whole story here. What's the guitarist's name? Kenny Haskin? Haskin. I don't know how you pronounce it in their language, but it's Kenny Hakarson. I don't know. But he's definitely a guitar beast. I don't know what they were smoking, but it was some potent shit, man. It was pretty strong. So yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I wish Mecky Markman was kind of carrying the torch a little bit instead of like holding back the heaviness. But still some great stuff that, you know, alongside Parsons sound and you know, all those other great cosmic rock acts at the time. Definitely influential in a lot of ways. Okay, this next one, I actually do not own any compilation or anything to really reference this next single, but it's on the Festival Records label, and it came out in, I believe, 1969. Let's double check that. Yeah, from Australia. And this is by a band called The Bucket, I Can't Help Thinking of You, with the B-side that is not very good, called Papa's Taking Us to the Zoo Tomorrow, which is kind of a little more like kind of a sing-along, bubblegummy kind of track. Total opposite of what the A-side is. And I'm gonna give you a little sample of that. It was featured on a compilation called Ugly Things 4. I think it's called Down Under Dreamtime, which was released on vinyl back in the day, which is, of course, as you can imagine, all singles from Down Under, Australia and New Zealand singles. It's got some great cuts on there. Trick or Treat, or I think it's a track called Halloween. I forget the band, but I remember that single was featured on there. I featured that on a psychedelic mix, on that Halloween mix I made some years ago now. Don't have a whole lot of history about them. I tried looking some stuff up just now, and not a whole lot about them, except the track was written by one of the members of the Master Apprentices, Mick Bauer, which is the leading track here, the A-side. I Can't Help Thinking of You, but I love that A-side, man. That's one of my all-time favorites to listen to. It's just straight out the gate from that drop of the snare, and then you just blast into that fuzz wah. And it's just very upbeat. It's got this very acid rock kind of drenched sound. A little bit, you know, Cream-esque, you could say. A little bit on the Cream side. And I love when, like, songs are really kind of have that hard rock and drive to it, and then the vocals are just kind of whispery and kind of like light and fluffy, and that's kind of the case in this single. Good harmony, good catchy harmony, and just doesn't last very long. I think it only clocks in a little over 2 minutes in length, but it left an impact on me, and that's why it's on the list. And this is the one case where it's a one-sided winner for me. That concludes us and leads us to our final one. So I'm only going to be sharing this LP because the band very much reminiscent of this group, and I pulled this one out. This is The Maze with Armageddon. It's a reissue here. Unofficial, but sounds really good to me. I mean, I've been really close to grabbing a MTA press of this years ago, but just never really clutched on, and ever since then, I think it's really been, price on this has been really jacked up and going for like $200-300, which never used to be in that realm when I was starting out. But yeah, they remind me of that group, and we were talking about Children of the Mushroom. What an awesome name. These guys formed out of Thousand Oaks, California. And they only had one single back in the day, back in 1968, and the A-side is August Mademoiselle. with the B-side being You Can't Erase a Mirror. Just two awesome Psych titles there. I'd say that's a two-sided winner for the most part. Both tracks really encompass, first the A-side's a lot more upbeat, got a very gothic, organ-heavy sound, very much reminiscent of like what they were listening to at the time, like The Doors, Iron Butterfly. The B-side's a little bit more of a moody, also haunting, kind of a slower ballad pop Psych kind of feel, but some sizzling like fuzz solo as well, like in the later half of the track. But the A-side's definitely the winner. I mean, if I had to choose over the two, the A-side is definitely the winner. They were definitely high off of like what was happening at that time, being around Thousand Oaks, kind of circulating around the LA scene at the time. They were definitely probably capturing a lot of these groups that were floating in and out at the time. And just by looking at these guys too, you can definitely tell they're kind of going for that Roger McGuinn, Gene Clark kind of look in that style, which is like the ultimate, badass look for back in this day. I don't know a whole lot about like where they toured or who they played with, but I do know that Gearson reissued like a whole compilation of like the rest of the remaining material back in like 2014. I never picked it up when it first came out, but I imagine it has some good backstory to them a little bit more than what I can share with you, because I still don't own that compilation. I've always been kind of on the fence to pick up on it because I just heard the recording quality is not that great outside of the single itself, but I guess that's what you get for archived demos that are just tucked away for years. But just never really pulled the trigger on that one yet. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to pick that up, but I love the cover art where they're all like, posing in the sand with their logo, and some really cool photographs too of them performing. You can see the Vox Continental organ up on stage, and they definitely got a very heavy Vox Continental sound, alongside probably some Vox guitars, just like the perfect ingredient for the perfect recipe for acid-drenched teen garage Psych from that time period, 68 sounding. And that's why it kind of makes it here on the list. It's just almost top tier for me of what I look for. Hopefully you can kind of dig into these singles. Hope you enjoy them. Hope you enjoy the samples. Hopefully I can leave some in. And I think the next video possibly show off some local stuff I've been picking up. Otherwise, yeah, I got a big one online just recently that I'll be sharing soon, along with whatever else I get online, so I can share it off. And it's going to be it for now. So take care, and we'll see you soon.